Individual ownership has no place in today's communism. Did the Vedic principle of socialism allow it?
The Vedic concept of equality admits equal rights for all, no special privilege for an individual or total ownership by a single person. Loyalty not to an individual but to the collective community would be the principle. And in the same way, privileges will not be confined to party systems either. Our concept of socialism admits equality rights won as birthrights. The whole system of nature rests on such a concept. In the usual way of life, we have to abide by the discipline of discharging the vested duties and functions in line with the universal system. That will be the way towards socialism and equality.
In the Vedic ages too, there were rich and poor and middle-class groups in the population. If the society was then based on socialism, what was the system of equal distribution of wealth? How would they solve their financial problems?
Agriculture was the key to all such problems. Poor or rich, all had to go for tilling the land with plough in hand. Agriculture was a respectful profession at that time. People at the top of the society, for their wisdom and learning or for property and riches, used to feel proud to plough the fields. Their family too used to join in the work. In the present age, farmers are known as farmers, as an indistinguished class. But at the age of the Vedic socialism, people were not divided into classes according to respective professions. Brahmins and barons and princes all had to work with the plough. That is how Balaram was known as holder of the hal, meaning plough. Lord Krishna used to tend cattle and blow his pipe for pleasure. People not willing to go for ploughing were treated as outcast by the society. Farming was then the main source of revenue. Good crops would solve financial problems. Land was nature's gift, so it must not be left unused or neglected. They thought crops were distributed equally among all in the community. Same was the practice among animals and birds too. Land used to be kept reserved for growing cattle food. Any piece of land gifted on ceremonial occasions used to be used for cattle food growing only. Begging for a living was not in vogue in those days. Still the term Vikshuk was there, which meant seeker of wisdom and knowledge, who held position of respect in the society. There were plans and programs for saving the people at large from pecuniary distress. For income generation, various types of industrial activities were introduced, like making weapons from iron, textile products from cotton, wool, or even the bark of trees, well-built houses side by side of clay huts. These gave them sufficient work for earning income and thus meet the domestic needs for comfortable living. So in the Vedic age, there was socialistic pattern of the society. People didn't suffer from want, nor they were used to affluence or surplus.
As you say, in those days, people used to distribute among themselves all their assets, money and food materials. Was there no system of savings for their future needs?
I won't say that the rulers, the rich and wealthy class, would not build up any saving, but that was not in self-interest. Rather, it was for the benefit of the wider society. Their accrued fund of savings was not for their own use in future, but their savings were meant for the welfare of the society at large, and their coffers would always remain open to the public. Want and privation were there, which cannot be denied. People in distress would approach the ruling class without any hesitation, and the men of means used to give away freely from their granary. That was the process of equitable distribution of surplus resources. The capitalist class were held in disrespect by the society, just as is done in the present age. Certain trading classes used to amass wealth for their own interest. Their accumulated riches were considered useless, as that was of no good for the people in need. This section of the capitalists and their wealth used to be despised. At present, the surplus resources are taken away from the usurpers in the interest of equitable utilization. Similar ideas prevailed in those days too. According to Vedic dictum, all unutilized surplus capital should be done away with, or else distribute the surplus wealth for the common good of the society. Money must be properly utilized, and if necessary, force would be applied to take away riches from the miserly and selfish classes. Luxury, exploitation, and lust for riches were held immoral. Those people should be treated as criminals, deserving exemplary punishment. As in the present age, a movement against the exploiters and usurpers were advocated by the seers and sages of ancient times. Thus, the essential features of modern-day concept of socialism are found ingrained in the Vedic social thoughts and directions.
You say the same socialistic principles of the present age are found in the Vedic principles also. But the communists of the day, who vow for socialism, take violent turn at the mention of religion. Vedas are based on religion. Then how to reconcile the two?
The form of religion they oppose is not religion in the true sense, and it does not deserve compliance because it is a degradation of true religion. Vedas, on the other hand, are based on a form of religion which upholds the essence of the universal. That great capacity to hold on is religion in the real sense, which is universally accepted as it is inviolable. Vedas mean knowledge, and the root of the word is the term vid, which means to know. The real nature of the universe can be known through the Vedas, just as you can have a glimpse of the entire existence rolling all around through a microscope. Vedic religion helps man to ascertain the essential features of nature which the communists cannot afford to deny. Don't they admit the sun? Don't they get infuriated seeing fire? They won't do that. The sun is addressed as Pusha in the Vedas. None can declaim air, water, ether, and such other like elements. These very elements in nature were propitiated as Marut, Varun, and Indra. The pair, Ashwini Kumar, were known to be roaming all over the hemisphere. They ride upon two horses, one white and the other black. These two sons of Ashwini are in real sense two different aspects of the solar race. Their two horses are identified as the light emanating from the sun and another as the shade. They are constantly on the move. The dawning of the day and befalling of the dusk, the rotation of the 6 seasons are entirely dependent on the sun. The communists cannot disregard this truth. Even now, the term horsepower is used to denote power and pace. In today's scientific society, the two phenomenal elements, namely time and space, are admitted as the key factors. They are described in the Vedas as Bhumdeva and Jamadeva, meaning endless sky and timeless time. Besides, nature's 33 facilities like rivers, herbal plants, the great banyan and the like used to be regarded as deities by Vedic seers. Each of these essential facilities was then measured in terms of 1 crore to signify importance. In course of time, that very useful concept has been rendered to 33 crores of deities as is known today by people. This is an absurdity. There would be nothing wrong if some others decry it. The Vedas stand on scientific reasoning. It is a pity that certain self-interested groups misinterpreted the essential message of the Vedas and gave imaginary and false rendering so as to cause a total devaluation of religion from the process of learning to the cause of fear. That is how the whole human society is now enveloped in a cloud of superstition and held under the threat of sin and repercussion. Self-proclaimed monks and saints are misusing religious faith on commercial scale for their own fortune. These people belong to the same class of capitalist exploiters. They are no friends of the human society because their dirty tricks of devaluation of true religion. Socialists reject this perverted form of religious practice. Myself too am against such perversion. These elements must be removed from the society at first if we really want to establish Vedic socialism. Socialists should conform to the universal tune. Communism is based on that concept. Equal rights for all. Nature's laws subscribe to communism. Theists and atheists both are loyalists of the Supreme Creator. They develop new viewpoints when they fall in deep slumber. Some would prefer to serve their motherland and work for social welfare, while others consider it more important to go on hermitage and observe religious discipline. There is no question of their relative superiority or inferiority. The onlookers are impressed by the visual happenings. Someone may leave home and hearth and go to a forest and succeed in sadhana after long practice. In course of time, he becomes a supremo. His devotees and field workers may be working hard, devotedly and sincerely on a welfare program and eventually achieve success. The seniors then start propagating that whatever they could achieve was by the grace of their Supremo. The field workers got irritated at this. They were aggrieved when their labor and service were not recognized. So it was not wise to propagate what cannot be demonstrated. Saints, monks, and preceptors are doing a lot for the welfare of mankind. Nobody can deny. However, it is better for them not to indulge in unnecessary preaching and propagation of supernatural powers through their devotees or even by themselves. The universe is the harmonious combination of atom-like energy. So also are our devoted workers. Their united labor and service has created all the facilities and utilities that is within our hands' reach today. In this situation, if they are deprived of their dues by way of equal distribution, undesirable disputes and disturbances would occur as a result thereof.